This is the Akaso action camera EK7000. It comes with a lot of little accessories which are really convenient. You can mount it to your bicycle handle or strap it to your head. You can mount it to a tripod with all these little extra things that come right with it. Also has a remote control that comes with the camera, which is not meant to go underwater. But the waterproof case is what I was going to discuss here. I saw a video where somebody tested the waterproofness of this camera by putting it into the case and then putting it in a bowl of water. Now obviously that person's not a scuba diver. The box claims that it's waterproof to 98 feet, and I believe that that's a little bit of a stretch. I just want to say on the front end of this video that this camera did experience intrusion of salt water into the case, and it happened to be on a shallow dive of about 10 feet and quite a bit. You can see where the salt water actually got behind the lens, and I did have the tape over these holes. It wasn't enough to stop the salt water because it was just too much. It was about a tablespoon of water that got into this relatively rapidly, and it's hard to tell or figure out where. It could have been the O-ring around the cover. It could have been any one of the O-rings in these buttons in the case. So I'll never know. So the camera's fried. This is a modification to the original video that I'm putting on the front end, because I have had this camera down to 85 feet with just a little bit of intrusion of water. I would only recommend using this camera for water resistance. I would not expect it to keep water out. It would be okay for incidental contact with water, like having it on a boat in this case. If it dropped, you might have time to retrieve it before it sinks. And if it just went into a foot or two of water, you'd probably be okay. But I really would not recommend this for any kind of scuba diving, because I lost a lot of good video that I was taking on that shallow dive because the camera was destroyed. The SD card, even though I took it out and tried to dry it and whatnot, it was already damaged. So seeing how this camera was destroyed in only 10 feet of water, my analysis is it's not fit for scuba diving. Maybe just going in a swimming pool down a couple of feet, but even then I would test out the case by taking it down with no camera inside it, maybe a little piece of tissue paper as a marker, and actuate the buttons. So I really wouldn't take it down to any kind of depth and expect it to protect the camera. The case is flawed. This waterproof case is configured to fit the camera. Actually, it's quite clever. It has buttons that will interact with the camera's buttons in the exact locations of the camera's buttons. They're on the case. So each one of these little silver buttons here has a spring actuated piston with an O-ring. The case has 4 different spring actuated buttons with O-rings, each designed to protect the camera from water intrusion. This red lens was added on. I picked up some color lenses from Amazon, because if you do any deep diving, you know that you're going to lose red, and that will help balance the color a little bit on it. I don't think you can take it down to 4 atmospheres without water intrusion. I've taken this as deep as 85 feet on 2 occasions. I can show a little bit of the video that I took down there just to show how well the camera performs. I can't say enough good things about the camera itself and the case. It's very clever. But I did get slight water intrusion. A few drops made its way into this case. So a couple things you want to do to protect the camera. I really don't recommend going past 60 or 70 feet. If I was starting to get water intrusion at 85 feet, don't go past that with the camera.